For me, the garden is all about productivity. How much produce can I get out of it? But in order to get that produce, you're going to need pollinators. Pollinators are attracted to flowers. We're going to feature several of the flowers that are blooming at any given time. Sometimes that'll be monthly, sometimes it'll be longer. Just depends on how much changes during the seasons. So we're going to talk about the flowers that we have in our environment and how much we like them. I'm all about the fruit and the produce, so Daisy's going to run through most of this. Let's go see what she's got.
We have over a dozen flowers that are blooming in the month of March. In this particular segment, we're going to go through them in alphabetical order, and then at the end, I'm going to share with you my top 3 favorites and why I like them. So the first one is Alstroemeria or Peruvian lily. We saw them at one of the big box store. They're beautiful. They are great for cut flowers. They last 2 weeks as cut flowers that you see in Publix or any of the grocery stores. So they're great, and they were in the colors that I wanted. So Alstroemeria is the first one. The next one are azaleas. What's not to love about azaleas? When they are in full bloom, they're beautiful. And the ones that we have 2. We have the red ones and we have the purple lavender varieties. But the purple lavender varieties are the bigger and bushier and more showy. So that's the one that we're showing. Azaleas are wonderful flowers. They do very well in the shade. They now make varieties that can take full sun. They come in a rainbow of colors, from white to red to pink to peach. So whatever you want in that color, they'll probably have it. And again, if you need them to be in a sunny location, just make sure that you specified or choose ones that have been bred for sunny locations. But typically, they are for more shade or partial shade location. The next one that we have is dill. This is the one that we planted I believe it was last summer. It is doing well right now, and it is blooming this month. The next one that we have are the drift roses. These are the ones that we actually pruned in February. It is March and they're starting to bud and they're starting to lush out in their leaves, but they won't really come into full bloom until next month in April. The lantanas we have are the ground cover type varieties. When we first put them in the ground a number of years ago, they were white, but now they're changing to a purpley color. They're just budding out right now, but lantanas could be perennials and they could be annuals, and they come in a variety of colors, but they're just starting out now for the perennial kinds. The next one are the lemon flowers. They're blooming along with the navel oranges as well as the Valencia oranges. They're beautiful. They give wonderful scents. Every time you pass by, you almost have to do a double take because they smell so wonderful. The next one are the mixed flowers, the annual mixed flowers that we bought, and we planted it I believe it was last summer, just so that we can bring in pollinators. Next one, we have marigolds. Marigolds are annual flowers, and for us, we bought them last summer. We let them go to seed, and the seeds, we sprinkled them in different parts of the lawn, and they are actually, they've taken root, and the first ones are starting to bloom, and we actually have 1 or 2 blooms right now for the marigolds. Last summer, we planted nasturtiums. They all completely died out in our winter. We seeded new ones inside, and then we put them in the ground as seedlings, and they're all coming up, and some of them are starting to flower. The next one is petunias. I just love the colors, and they will go well with my bougainvillea that I plant in the same pot. The bougainvillea is ones that we had butchered, but it's doing well. And we'll talk about the bougainvilleas in another episode. The phlox that we have are called, are the paparazzi series. The particular ones that we have is the paparazzi jagger. And they have done great in our weather. They take the heat, they take the humidity, and they even take our cold. I've bought a couple other phloxes around the same time I bought these. They all died out in our winter, except for these paparazzi jagger series. So we love it. It is starting to bloom, but I think next month is when it's fully at its best. But it is actually doing quite well now here at the end of March. Our next one is the yellow tababuya or golden trumpet tree. It is a beautiful, beautiful, stunning tree when it is in full bloom. And this year it started to bud out. February 28, February 29 was when the first buds started to come out. But at its peak, it will bloom for 15, 16 days. And when it is in full bloom, there is nothing like it. It is beautiful. We also have tomatillos that are blooming. And Jonathan said the flower smells terrible as opposed to the citrus tree that is so incredible. And then lastly, we have yarrows that are starting to bud out. And the yarrows are perennials that we planted last year in the garden, and it has spread, and we've put them in different locations, and they're starting to come out. So that is just some of the list of flowers that we have blooming and growing right now in our garden. So if I had to pick 3 for the month of March, I would say my first pick would be the tababuya. The yellow tababuya, the golden trumpet trees, just for the fact that it is so stunning. It is so striking. When you drive by and you see the tree in full bloom, you almost have to do a double take to see what is that. The color is beautiful. It's just like a beautiful, happy yellow, and it's big. So that's my top choice. My second choice would probably be azaleas, just the fact that they are so profusive. They're come in various different shades and colors, and you see them almost everywhere. But they're still beautiful. And my third one would be the navel orange tree flowers, for the fact that it's all white, the blossoms are all white, and the smell is so heavenly. It's just incredible. So those are my top 3 blooms for the month of March in our garden. Thanks for hanging out with us. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe. Thanks, and see you next time.